Boss asked that I give my work email password to my coworker. I work at a law firm and the attorney I work for asked me to give my coworker my work email credentials. He stated that because I'm going on vacation, he wants her to be able to have access to my emails. I told him that I have an away message set up so that clients with urgent matters know to contact the other paralegal, and that I don't want to give her my password. This other paralegal is not in a senior position and she is not my boss. Despite this, she has a tendency to micromanage me and critique the way I do things because they aren't done her way. I have a feeling she'd continue to monitor my email even when I return. So I think their request for my information is sketchy. I want to stand my ground, but I also don't want to get in trouble. I know that employers have a right to employee work emails, but giving the information to other employees? That's insane to me. If your office using Outlook, you can grant her read privileges to your inbox while you are away and then remove it when back. If you work at a place large enough to have an IT department, contact them and ask what is the appropriate way to grant another user access to your mailbox while you're on vacation. In general, it's a terrible idea to give your password to anyone else for any reason. There's almost always a better way to do whatever you're trying to do. Either as the other person said with grant privileges or auto-forwarding. Never share credentials. If you have a security person on the IT team, they'd go nuts. Where I work, sharing a password will get you a box and escorted to the parking lot. That goes for pretty much everywhere I've worked. Never give out your passwords. Written IT security policy here says to never give our passwords to anyone. Ever. Maybe smaller company doesn't have those policies. But yeah, find another path to accomplish the same goal. You may come back and find that you sent emails saying you quit. Nope, that's not how it should ever work. IT can help them get access without your credentials or set up a forwarding email rule that sends any incoming messages from clients, limited to certain emails, to them while you're away. It's best if you have control of turning it on, off as necessary. Absolutely not ever. Anyone who has your password can write whatever they want and pretend it's from you. At most I'd set up an auto-forward of all incoming emails to the person so they can deal with what needs dealt with. Or, the attorney can put their directions to release your password to that person and add a defend and hold harmless indemnification clause to their directions, which is countersigned by the entire board of the firm and the managing attorney. As an IT professional, this is a very bad practice from a security standpoint. Giving someone else your password should never be done. If they need access to your email and your manager is in agreement, contact your IT department to see what options they have as a solution. There are ways to do this without sharing your password. This is likely breaking the rules of an acceptable use policy that you probably had to sign in order to have access to the company network. Under no circumstances are you allowed to share your credentials with any other person. You can be terminated for that kind of thing depending on what the policy says. Don't do it. That attorney really should know better than to tell you to do something like this. Just wow. I would reach out to IT. This seems way against any normal security, privacy policy. As someone in IT application development and familiar with cybersecurity, one of the best practices in security is you never give anyone your login credentials. As someone else said, in Outlook you can give someone read access temporarily. Go ask your head of IT and/or compliance officer if they're cool with that. Do it in an email CCing Doomba attorney and his managing partner. Of course, you will have to face the retaliation for the absolute beatdown the person is going to get. But it'll be fun to watch. Find your information security policy. This may violate it. My system password gives me access not only to Outlook, it also gives me access to all my other applications and documents. I would work with IT security on the best way to forward particular emails and leave an out of office message with clear directions on how to contact others. Sharing my password would get me fired or close to it. Number 1 network security item is do not share passwords. If a senior attorney wants you to do that, please ask your system administrator if that's okay. It really baffles me how much legal people are ignorant of just common sense safety. Your coworker could ruin your reputation. To be honest, it's also a security and privacy no-no to share login credentials with other people, even if they work in the same office as you. Even if they are the CEO. Never share login credentials. Sounds like they need a refresher training in this big time. IT admin here. Please, for the love of God, never share your credentials. And never give anyone permissions to something without going through your senior point of contact. Once you have approval from your senior point of contact in writing that they need access for a set amount of time, talk to IT. They can give, read and manage permissions for the allocated time. But for anyone that reads this, if someone says, "Hey, I need your credit for this," say the following. Sharing system credentials is a major security risk for the company, and my position can be compromised by sharing my credentials. If they pester you for it, tell them straight up no. Had a colleague where his boss was coercing him to share his passwords while he went on vacation. He changed his password to 14 letters long, a combination of zeros, ones, L's and O's. Left the password on a post-it note in a sealed envelope for the manager. Got back and everything was fine, except his account was locked for too many failed password attempts. He asked IT security, who was trying to log into his accounts while he was away. Never heard anything more about it, but the CIO and CISO did recirculate the policy about not sharing accounts. Reminded everyone they signed a document attesting that they read and would comply, and that information security was not to be taken lightly. The issue was further logged in an operational risk register and attached to the department. It's been stated about the IT policies, but I can't help but think of the legal implications of a lawyer ordering you to share access to legal materials with someone else in a way that could provide reasonable doubt in any chain of custody involving case information. Seems very Seuss.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.